Hey guys, if you watched my last video where I reviewed and unboxed 3 of these MTH SD70ACEs, you will know that the number 9168, this one right here, had a little bit of an issue. It'll run backwards, but it will not run forwards. So what we're going to do is take a look inside the gearboxes. Hopefully, I'm praying that I don't have to take the shell off. But we're going to take a look at the gearboxes and see if there's anything funky going on in there. And then after we do that, we'll see what we need to do and get this thing running properly again. So I did have to preemptively watch a video on how to do this, because I've seen a lot of different train repair videos on YouTube. I mean, a lot. I'm a pretty avid watcher of SMT mainline, classic model trains. What's going on with my stand? I'm not quite sure. Let's try the other way. And you see those guys working on a locomotive like this, and you're like, oh, yeah, that's not too bad. I could totally do that. When you are holding one in your hands, it is a completely different story. So what we're going to do is we're going to start by popping off this rear gearbox cover here. Just bing, bang, boom. Oh. Okay. I don't know what that is, but it like just came out of the gearbox. So that's kind of interesting. But that's the first one. Let's take a closer look in here and see if we can find anything out of place. I might need my headlamp though. Here we go. Okay. Everything appears to be fine in that gearbox. So let's, I'm going to set this aside. Let's take a look in the other gearbox and see if that has any surprises and goodies for us. I mean, this is the first step in shell removal either way, so you just kind of get under this cover, just give it a little bit of a pry, and it kind of pops off. And oh, look at that! I see some goodness in there. A little bit of yellowing on that grease. Interesting. Yeah, I'm not seeing anything that is looking super out of place at this moment in time, just directly in the gearboxes where, you can see it easily. So unfortunately, that does mean that we're going to have to take this shell off, as much as I would not like to. So let me start. I'm just going to set this down here. And if you're setting a locomotive down with the gearboxes open, don't put it in a bunch of gunk or anything like that. If don't set this on carpet. That's essentially a recipe for disaster. And there we go. I needed a little extra light here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to gently remove that front handrail. Oh, let me adjust the camera a wee tad bit so you guys can actually see what's going on. This front handrail right here gets disconnected. Then after that, we need to remove this piece of foam. And let me see. Let me take a look-see and see how this is connected on there. Okay, it seems like the handrails are an actual wire, which is quite nice. We're just gonna gently, I know you guys can't see what I'm doing, but just gently popping these 4 vertical rails out of the horizontal handrail. And keep in mind, this is a very delicate process here. There we go. And then that just leaves that one, which disconnected on its own. There we go. Okay. This handrail is now removed and free of the cab. The handrails on this locomotive, whenever you are, oh, here, let's get this foam pole. Boop. Oh, so satisfying. The handrails stay with the frame of the locomotive, and then the shell is simply removed from that point. So you need to do the same thing over here. We got to take out these front foams. Just put those back over there. Move this out of the way. Like you guys previously, well, maybe saw. Sorry, the light is moving around a lot right now. Just pop that little handrail out, nice and gentle. These are metal handrails. Fantastic detailing on that. After that, we're just going to pop out this one. Pull the foam. Pull the foam. This is the best part of getting a new locomotive, and no one can convince me otherwise. We'll see if we can pop this out. Let me give her a little spin. Probably seeing a little bit of my head right there. Oh, man. Goodness gracious. Okay, that first one is disconnected. Second one's disconnected. Then we're going to need to do this third one as well. It appears. There we go. Got all 3. Then just skiddly bop bop, beep boop. Got it. Okay, here is the hard part. I'm going to try to, here's what I'm going to do. Lower the camera a tiny bit, just a tiny tad. And unfortunately, the video that I saw for this was quite old and not the best quality of video. I mean, he did a great job explaining what to do, but you know what I mean. The physical quality of the video was like 0p. It was a pretty old one. You just pop these side covers off the trucks a little bit, and I'm actually going to pop this one out as much as I can here. Seems about right. Okay. Right, let me get my pointer screwdriver. Right here, you'll see a little, oh, that's much better. That little speck of orange right there, that's your body clip. So what you need to do, and what this fella did, oh, come on. I was gonna say I'm not gonna be able to get my phone back on the mount. Having some technical troubles. Just give this other side a little scoopty poopy. over here, just back it out a tad. And I don't actually know if this screwdriver is going to work, so give me a moment and I'll find another one. Okay, here's the one I grabbed. Here's my typical prying screwdriver, so here's why I got this one. Longer shank, and it doesn't have that abrupt drop right there. So this is going to give you a little bit more precision when you're prying, and then you don't have that little lip to fight you as well. So what we're going to do here, and it's going to be a little bit hard to see, but I think that this angle might work because you can still see that clip in there right there. I'm just going to stick my screwdriver right into that clip, and then I'm just going to hold it open with this toothpick. There are 4 clips, 4 clips on this body. So that was one. We'll take care of the second one really quick. It's just over here on the other side. Heard a little click. There we go. Just get in there, hold that thing open. All right, we'll give her a spin. Boop. There we are. Okay, same thing on this side. We are just going to do a little bit of separating on the trucks, but these ones are behind this wheel right here. We'll just pop them open. Apparently this is a very similar process to Kato locomotives. I have not... Oh, hey, look at that. That makes it real easy to get in there. I have not worked on a Kato locomotive yet. Could be interesting. Could be something cool if I ever get my hands on one. And keep in mind, you want to be... All right, this wheel is... Be gone. No more. I'm probably going to have to disassemble the gearboxes anyway, so I'm not real worried about taking those wheels out. Oh my gosh, tedious process. Don't let the camera fool you. This is... I'm shaking in my boots right now. There we go. All right. This wheel with the black gear goes towards the front of the locomotive if I end up dropping the wheels. But now we should... Man, I wish I had a second set of hands here. I don't really like grabbing it by that fuel tank. I'm sure it's fine. I think I need to work on these front clips a little more. Yep. Toothpicks weren't seated correctly there. Maybe you need to grab just the shell, although that is a hard process. And you know, the other thing you have to do while you're working on this is mind all of the little details. Not that I'm complaining, you know, just a simple fact. I might have to do some finagling off camera here. I wonder if I can just use this, oh, we have a wheel popping out. It popped back in. Yeah. Okay, that's working. Can use a toothpick so that you don't mar up those gaps. I think my toothpicks are not, okay, well that clip is staying. I wonder if I just have to put them in there with less pressure. I think that might be my problem. Just have them simply hold on the body clips, or hold the clips open, I should say. Well, all right, I'm gonna do some finagling off camera and see if I can get this thing going, see what's going on with it. Whenever I get the shell off, I will be right back with you guys, and I'll explain how I did it. Oh, here we are with the shell off, and after about an hour, I know that's ridiculous, I was able to remove the shell. Oh, let me move my camera up a little here. There we go. That's much betterer. So, there are 4 clips that hold this onto the actual frame of the locomotive, and I'm not sure if there was like a burr holding them up or if it was just super tight because it was the first time that it had been opened, but man, that thing was stuck on. And the good news is that I have located the issue. I already kind of fixed it, but this is going to get a whole gearbox removal and cleaning and lubing. So what happened here, here's the worm gear. Here are the 2, I guess technically bushing bearings, and they are held in to the plastic with these little rounded bits here, and they just kind of sit in there right here. So what I think happened is that the lubricants on this worm gear and on these bushings, or bearings, whichever you prefer, got extremely dry, and then whenever the locomotive went to get tested, worked in reverse, but then whenever we tried to go forward, it just popped one of these out and completely locked the gearbox in just one direction. So that's the problem with the first, and I am holding it up with my pinky right now. And the interesting thing is I am not quite sure yet how I'm going to get this one out, because it's a pretty standard clip for that rear gearbox. But as you can see, the actual weight of the locomotive is kind of entrapping it in there. So I'm kind of hoping that there's a way to remove that weight, but I'm kind of skeptical about it. But let's, well, I should say, I don't think there's a way to remove it without completely disassembling the locomotive. So I'm going to get this front truck out really quick. This is going to take some finagling with the tweezers so that I don't pull this drive shaft out, because as you can see, this drive shaft, it's right here, but it is once again under that weight, and I'm really trying to avoid pulling that out. So I'm just going to start by pulling this worm gear up a little bit here. Oh, well, that's fine. Grab the other pair of tweezers. Just grab on. Okay, well, kind of seems like it's locked in place. The wife just got home, so can hear her car pulling up. So I guess either way, we're gonna have to figure out how to get this weight removed, but can this front truck is now free here. Well, let me do some more digging, see what I can do about getting this off, and once I have it removed, I'll explain to you guys how I did it, and we'll continue. Well, I have done some finagling with it, and what I ended up doing with the rear truck right here is I just popped that clip off while it was inside and pulled the truck out from the bottom, and surprisingly enough, looks like the biggest issue was not actually the gears in the gearbox. As you can see, they're really clean and turning quite nicely, so I'll just put a little ultralight oil on these, and well, that right there was touching the worm gear, so I'll get that cleaned up. But yeah, the gears inside the actual trucks themselves are good to go. However, let's take a look at the worm gears here, and this is where the problem lies. These are just gunked up all over the place. They've got grease sitting in the worm gear. The bushings are caked up with it and dried up, and I'm sure that's why that popped out of place there. And let me slip this back on. There's a little washer and then the bushing. And this is the rear. It's pretty much the same story here. So I'll just get these cleaned up really quick, apply some light oil there, reassemble the chassis, and then we should be good to go to get this thing back on the rails and see how it runs. Well, here it is on the layout. Shell put back on. It was a lot easier putting the shell back on than taking it off. And honestly, I had such a problem with it because it was the first time this has ever been opened. So hopefully, if it ever has to come off again, it'll be a lot easier. But well, I of course had to do some testing before the shell was put back on, so it's already on the track and ready to go. We'll just let it run a loop here. No sounds or anything, just the locomotive. See how she goes. Now that it's all up and going, so reseated that bearing, and now it's running just like the others, smooth as butter. Oh yeah, we have the garage open today, so you guys are seeing a little bit of the beamers, but look at that, there she goes. We'll get a little, see if we can flash that. Yeah, look at those ditch lights. Oh, the horse. But yeah, with that, guys, this one is back up and going again, so we will catch you in the next one. Thank you for watching.